Life has an extraordinary way of leading us down unexpected paths, steering us through twists and turns that often seem to defy logic. These paths, unpredictable as they are, hold the power to teach us profound lessons about who we are, what we cherish most, and how we connect with the world around us. They test our resilience, challenge our perceptions, and compel us to confront truths about ourselves that we might otherwise avoid. It's within these unpredictable journeys that we discover the strength to grow, the wisdom to understand, and the courage to face life's uncertainties. One such unexpected journey unfolded when I found myself intricately involved in the life of my stepbrother as he embarked on the transformative chapter of marriage. Never in my wildest dreams had I envisioned playing such a pivotal role in his personal life. But life, as it often does, had its own plans. 30 years old, I had long been fascinated by the intricacies of human relationships, dedicating years to understanding how emotions shape our connections and how we navigate the complexities of love, trust, and partnership. As a certified body therapist, my professional journey had equipped me with a deep understanding of the interplay between the mind, body, and emotions. This knowledge, coupled with my passion for personal growth and emotional intelligence, gave me unique insights into the dynamics of relationships and the subtle forces that influence them. So, when my stepbrother Yenna, at 27 years old, ventured into marriage, I felt an unshakable sense of responsibility to guide him, not as an overbearing figure but as a source of wisdom and support. Yenna's new marriage was filled with excitement, hope, and love, but like any significant life transition, it also carried its share of uncertainties. His wife, Chiok, a vibrant and kind-hearted woman, radiated a warmth that immediately endeared her to everyone. Watching them together, I could see the genuine bond they shared. However, as deeply as they loved one another, I knew that love alone wouldn't shield them from the inevitable challenges of married life. Relationships, particularly in their early stages, are often a delicate dance of learning and compromise. They require patience, open communication, and an unwavering commitment to growth. I recognized that Yenna and Chiok would face their share of struggles, just as every couple does, and I wanted to equip them with the tools to navigate these challenges with grace and understanding. I remember vividly the day Yenna introduced Chiok to our family. Her presence was magnetic. She exuded confidence and warmth, and her laughter lit up the room. Yenna's pride and happiness were evident in every word he spoke about her, and it was clear that he had found someone who brought out the best in him. Yet beneath his joy, I could sense a lingering vulnerability, a quiet fear of not being enough, of failing to meet the expectations of his new role as a husband. This fear became more evident during one quiet evening when Yenna and I found ourselves alone in the living room. The golden hues of the setting sun bathed the room in a soft, comforting light, but Yenna's demeanor was anything but at ease. His usually bright and confident expression was replaced by a contemplative, almost troubled look. He sat silently for a moment, his hands fidgeting as though they held the weight of unspoken thoughts. "You know," he began hesitantly, breaking the silence, "I want to make Chiok happy, but sometimes it feels like I'm not doing enough. She's been frustrated with me lately, and I'm starting to wonder if I'm failing her." His voice wavered, and I could see the depth of his concern etched across his face. In that moment, I realized how much he was grappling with self-doubt. Yenna's love for Chiok was undeniable, but love alone isn't always sufficient to bridge the gaps that can form in a relationship. It requires effort, understanding, and the willingness to grow both individually and as a couple. I assured him that his feelings were valid and that his openness was a crucial step toward building a stronger bond with Chiok. Drawing from my experiences in training, I shared with him the importance of communication, of listening not just to respond but to truly understand. I spoke about the power of empathy, of stepping into his partner's shoes to see the world through her eyes. We discussed the significance of small gestures of affection, the value of expressing gratitude, and the necessity of carving out time for meaningful conversations amidst the busyness of life. Over the weeks that followed, I spent time with both Yenna and Chiok, observing their interactions and offering guidance when needed. I emphasized the importance of addressing misunderstandings early, before they could fester into larger issues. I encouraged them to celebrate each other's strengths and to approach challenges as a team rather than adversaries. Gradually, I began to see a shift in their dynamic. Their conversations became more open, their interactions more thoughtful, and their bond deeper and more resilient. Helping Yenna and Cheok navigate the early stages of their marriage was not about imposing my beliefs or taking control of their relationship. It was about offering them the tools and insights to build a partnership rooted in trust, respect, and mutual understanding. It was about empowering them to face life's challenges together, knowing that they had the strength and wisdom to overcome anything that came their way. Life's unexpected paths may take us to places we never imagined, but they also offer opportunities for growth, connection, and transformation. My journey with Yenna and Cheok reminded me of the beauty of relationships, of the way they push us to be better, to love deeper, and to find joy in the shared moments that make life meaningful. And in guiding them, I found a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment in my own life. Relationships are undeniably beautiful, offering a unique blend of joy and intimacy that can fill life with meaning. Yet, they also carry complexities that can feel overwhelming, especially when expectations clash, or when two people embark on the journey of understanding each other for the first time. These moments, though challenging, hold the potential for profound growth and connection, if approached with patience and care. I could see that Yenna was caught in that space of trying, learning, and yearning to do better, yet feeling as though he was falling short. His words brought back memories of my own journey, how trust, communication, and understanding either weave a bond tighter or test its very limits. It was a humbling reminder that relationships are not just about meeting expectations, whether emotional or physical, but about nurturing a deeper connection, building trust, and learning to honor the unspoken needs that underpin love. Yenna's vulnerability stirred something within me. I could feel the weight of his struggles, the loneliness and helplessness of wanting to do better but not knowing how. That space, between effort and understanding, can feel isolating and frustrating, but it also holds the seeds of transformation. I took a deep breath, determined to meet him where he was. My goal wasn't to simply provide answers. It was to guide him toward a place of self-discovery, reassurance, and renewed hope. "You're not alone in this, Yenna," I said softly, my voice carrying as much warmth as I could muster. Marriage isn't a perfect science, it's a journey, a long, winding road of learning, adapting, and growing together. Feeling unsure doesn't make you a bad husband, it makes you human. What matters most is your willingness to learn, to try, and to love even when it feels difficult. His posture softened slightly as my words sank in, and I noticed a glimmer of relief in his eyes. The doubt that had clouded his gaze seemed to lift, even if just a little. This was the moment he needed, not to be judged or overwhelmed with solutions, but to be reminded that his struggles were valid and that he was not alone. He cared deeply about his wife, and that love was the foundation upon which everything else could be built. Every couple faces challenges, I continued. What sets a strong relationship apart isn't the absence of difficulty, but the shared commitment to navigate it together. It's about patience, understanding, and listening, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Yenna's eyes stayed on mine, and I could feel his resolve beginning to solidify. This was more than a conversation, it was a turning point. He was learning to see his efforts not as failures but as stepping stones on a path toward a stronger marriage. "I want to learn, Amora," he said, his voice steadier now. "I want to be the kind of husband she can trust, the kind of man who makes her feel loved and valued every day. But sometimes, I just don't know where to start." A gentle smile spread across my face. His willingness to learn was the most beautiful first step. That's all anyone can ask for. "Yenna," I said, "we all learn as we go. The fact that you're here, open and ready to grow, says more about your love and commitment than any words ever could. Together, we'll figure this out." The evening seemed to shift, growing warmer with a sense of hope and possibility. This wasn't just about offering advice or sharing knowledge, it was about creating a connection, one moment at a time. It was about helping him lay the groundwork for a marriage built on trust, empathy, and unwavering love. As someone with a background in body therapy and life coaching, I had spent years studying the intricacies of human emotions and relationships. My work had taught me how profoundly emotional well-being intersects with physical intimacy and how essential communication is in bridging those worlds. I didn't approach this as an instructor handing out a formula, but as a guide helping Yenna uncover his own capacity for understanding and connection. It wasn't just about physical satisfaction or ticking boxes off an invisible checklist. True intimacy was rooted in emotional depth, in recognizing and responding to the subtle cues of love, care, and vulnerability. I wanted Yenna to understand that creating a meaningful connection with his wife wasn't about being perfect. It was about showing up, being present, and listening with genuine intent. Every relationship is unique. I explained to him, what strengthens one might not work for another, but certain principles hold universal truth. Kindness, patience, empathy, and the ability to listen without judgment are at the heart of every successful relationship. It's not about grand gestures or extravagant promises. It's about the small, consistent acts of love that remind your partner they're seen, valued, and understood. I emphasize that trust and emotional safety are the foundation of every meaningful connection. When partners take the time to truly understand each other's emotional needs, they create a space where vulnerability and authenticity can flourish. This, in turn, strengthens the bond, making it resilient in the face of life's inevitable challenges. I'm here to help you learn that language, I told him, not with pressure or judgment, but with compassion and belief in your ability to grow. Together, we'll work on understanding her needs and responding with care. It's not about being perfect, it's about being present, every single day. As the conversation unfolded, I could see Yenna beginning to relax, his confidence returning in small but significant ways. He wasn't just hearing my words, he was internalizing them, laying the first bricks in the foundation of a deeper, more fulfilling relationship. This was the beginning of his journey, not just as a husband, but as someone committed to learning the art of love, one step at a time. There were times when it was as simple as asking, "How are you feeling today?" Or "What can I do to support you?" Often, it was about being present, truly present, and showing patience and compassion during the moments that felt most challenging. These seemingly small gestures carried an immense weight, weaving threads of trust, care, and vulnerability into the fabric of a relationship. I explained to Yenna that such moments, though fleeting, could have a profound impact on a marriage. They weren't just casual actions, they were acts of love, demonstrations of effort, and, most importantly, symbols of commitment. These small yet significant gestures could build a bridge where there once was distance, offering reassurance and opening pathways to deeper emotional connections. As we worked together, I began to see a gradual transformation in him. His rigid perspective softened, his heart opened, and his willingness to grow became more evident. It was clear that his motivation wasn't just rooted in personal growth, but in a deep desire to nurture his marriage and foster happiness for his wife. He wanted their union to thrive, not just exist. His sincerity inspired me to continue guiding him with care, patience, and a steady hand. My approach with Yenna was never to overwhelm him with advice or theoretical knowledge. I believed in building a foundation of trust and breaking the process into small, achievable steps. Together, we started exploring the underlying patterns that often emerge in relationships, the way stress could erode connection, how misunderstandings could snowball, and how unmet expectations and insecurities could silently build walls between two people. I encouraged him to view these challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to love more deeply. Emotional needs weren't burdens, they were calls for understanding and nurturing, chances to step up as a partner and a friend. Through our conversations, I could sense that Yenna was beginning to see relationships in a new light. He was learning that meeting emotional needs required consistency, patience, and, above all, a genuine willingness to connect. While the road ahead was long, there was immense potential, for him to transform not only his marriage but also himself. With the right tools, guidance, and encouragement, I knew he could lay the groundwork for a partnership built on mutual respect, emotional depth, and unwavering support. My background as a certified body therapist gave me unique insights into these dynamics. Years of studying the interplay between physical and emotional intimacy had taught me that touch was far more than a physical act. It was a language of connection, a medium of trust, and a way to convey care and vulnerability. I understood the intricacies of the female body and how creating an environment of emotional safety could lead to deeper physical and emotional bonds. This knowledge was something I felt Ukena could greatly benefit from. However, I also knew that the journey required delicacy and respect. I approached the topic with him carefully, ensuring he understood that intimacy wasn't merely about physical techniques, but about fostering a space where his wife could feel safe, seen, and valued. Emotional security, I explained, was the cornerstone of physical connection. When a person feels emotionally supported, physical intimacy blossoms naturally, free of tension or pressure. This wasn't about transforming him overnight, but about equipping him with tools that would serve as a foundation for their relationship. Ukena was open and eager to learn. As our conversations deepened, so did his understanding of the nuances of connection. He absorbed the wisdom I shared with humility and determination, showing a genuine desire to create a loving and fulfilling partnership. After much consideration, he agreed to private sessions where we could explore these concepts further. His wife wasn't involved in these discussions, but both Ukena and I agreed it was important to approach this work in a safe, respectful, and private setting. This wasn't about manipulation or trying to fix things behind her back. It was about giving Ukena the tools and understanding he needed to show up as the husband he wanted to be. There were challenges, of course, feelings to navigate and vulnerabilities to embrace, but the intention was pure. He wanted to learn how to approach intimacy in a way that honored his wife's emotional and physical needs, and I was there to guide him. Our sessions were held in a calm and private environment, where trust had been carefully nurtured through hours of open dialogue. The focus wasn't solely on physicality. It was about understanding the unspoken language of connection. I taught him how to read body language, how to recognize signs of comfort or discomfort, and how to communicate his own feelings in a way that invited openness. He learned that every touch should stem from a place of respect, care, and attentiveness, a reflection of the love he held for his wife. Over time, Ukena's growth became evident. He began to grasp the profound connection between emotional and physical intimacy, realizing that the two were deeply intertwined. By paying attention to his wife's emotional responses and creating a space for vulnerability, he could foster trust and build a connection that was both fulfilling and enduring. He came to understand that this wasn't just about physical closeness. It was about learning how to truly love and support his wife on every level. By the end of our work together, Ukena stood taller, not just in confidence but in his understanding of what it meant to be a partner. He learned that a successful marriage required ongoing effort, mutual trust, and open communication. It wasn't about perfection. It was about presence and intention. One afternoon, with a smile that spoke volumes, he said to me, "Thank you, Amora. You didn't just help me save my marriage. You helped me become a better man." For me, it was never about being a savior. It was about sharing knowledge in a way that empowered someone to create meaningful change. Ukena's willingness to learn and grow had laid the groundwork for a marriage built on love, respect, and understanding. His journey reminded me that true transformation begins with an open heart and a sincere desire to connect. Thank you for taking the time to watch our videos, and especially subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. Our channel will always update interesting content. Thank you and see you in the next videos.